10.
Y'all ever think credibility is overrated?
Kaiser, people don't tune into us for our credibility. They tune into us for our honesty.
And honestly, I'm surprised that this made it above Pilaf, considering that this saga may have some of the lowest lows in all of Dragon Ball Super.
I mean, nothing can compete with the Resurrection F saga. It's astounding that the series managed to recover from what should have been, for all intents and purposes, a mortal wound.
If I may, the Universe Survival Saga, often referred to as the Tournament of Power Saga, honestly contains a couple of my favorite moments from Dragon Ball in it. From the very beginning, we're treated to one of the best opening themes Dragon Ball has to offer,
Following up the worst opening theme song in Dragon Ball, Don't Shift Plus to Me.
which honestly got me back into the gym. It's such a banger. And then there's the exhibition and recruitment arcs, which are included in this entry. Almost everyone's recruitment came with a moment from them to not only show off their skills, but also a character moment with Goku, aided by a couple of honestly amazing fights. And don't even get me started on Frieza. While the fandom's initial response to the replacement of Buu was rightfully exasperated and annoyed, Frieza subbing in may have been one of the best choices they could have made, both for the tournament and for the character. One of Frieza's most important attributes is his sadism. He's not just ruthless, he takes pleasure in the act of torturing and killing his opponents. And though we get to see a little bit of that in the Resurrection F arc, there's something about the way he's depicted here that sells his demented attitude so much more. His stunning transformation into Golden Frieza, his dismantling of the Universe 4 assassins, and the subsequent match afterwards are all amazing and perfectly set up the dynamic between Frieza and Universe 7 for the Tournament of Power.
I remember the backlash over Buu being benched. The base went ballistic. But now, well, we can't imagine a TOP without Frieza.
I also want to add, when Goku is shadow sparring on Uranai Baba's ring, he's actually recreating his fight, move for move, against his grandpa back during the Red Ribbon Army saga, which, as far as Easter eggs go, is pretty fucking phenomenal.
And then the actual tournament is full of hype moments. While it takes a fine bit for the fights to really warm up, the first time we see Goku tap into Ultra Instinct will forever stick in the minds of every Dragon Ball fan, especially when that music hits, just boom! You also have huge, heartfelt callbacks and tributes to Dragon Ball throughout, one of the best finishing moves in the franchise against Kefla, and one of the biggest climactic battles in all of anime with Frieza, 17, and Goku versus Jiren.
The Tournament of Power is one giant love letter to all of Dragon Ball. It spends so much of its time reminding us of everything that came before it, all the while bombarding us with a cavalcade of battles, new characters, and conflicts, being supported by an army of both veteran animators and fantastic newbies, all giving it their 100% to deliver a standout climactic finish to a heavily flawed series.
Y'all really gonna make me do it, huh? I have to be the heel.
But watching this season week to week was a trial, and not in the "oh my god, I can't wait to see what happens next week, the suspense is killing me" kind of way, but more the "what the hell was that? That's how they took out Ten Shinhan? What do you mean it's only been 10 minutes in the tournament? It's been like 5 episodes. That's how they took out Piccolo? Jesus, the color palette on these backgrounds is ugly as sin. This boring pile of roided up Area 51 paraphernalia is our main antagonist? Sort of way. It was a slog for longtime fans like myself.
And while a narratively relevant callback or reference can help elevate a scene, I have to put my foot down over them breaking out Vegeta's sacrifice against Buu, only for it to not actually cost him his life. The entire point of that moment was that he was using all of his energy and giving his life in order to win. Without that element, it's literally just the same technique Piccolo used against Goku in the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai. No emotional weight, no sacrifice, just a cheap, insipid ploy on the behalf of the writers that left me more pissed than pumped.
Let's not forget the use of Kachi Kachin, the hardest, most durable material in the universe, as the material for the ring, only for it to immediately break and shatter like any other material, effectively making it pointless and actually underselling the character's abilities. And don't even get us started on the pacing. We should have known 48 minutes was a ludicrous number, but to have approximately 34 episodes take place in one location over less than an hour? It's like they looked at Frieza's 5 minutes and said, "hold my heat tap." And this wouldn't be such a chore either if the environments felt varied or visually pleasing to look at, but like I said before, the Tournament of Power's stage and environment is often intensely ugly, to the point where the change in color to the sky was initially welcomed, until you realize that the color actually got worse.
And like Mark said before, some of the eliminations in that tournament were downright disappointing. Ten Shinhan's whole bullshit sacrifice is made all that much worse by his 2 appearances in the recruitment arc being absolute character assassination, and Piccolo is taken out by a character that he should literally be the best equipped for. And beyond that, while I love the Universe 6 Saiyans, their ascent in terms of power is so steep and unearned that it really makes you question why the hell Goku took as long as he did. In a story about the struggle to grow and improve, watching these 3 effortlessly unlock huge, once character-defining transformations feels like a spin in the face of the story and its themes thus far. And there are plenty of controversial writing choices throughout, between Blue Evolution, the time dilation regarding Goku's stamina recovery, a questionable amount of focus on Ribrianne, one of the worst Roshi scenes of all time, the no flying rule being defied weekly, and if you're not a fan of the Omni King, well, good news! There's 2 of them now, and they will not shut the f up.
And while those good animation days were much more common in this saga, the bad animation days made already lackluster fights that much worse, coupled with a mixed bag of new characters that range from legitimately compelling to downright forgettable to please God stop showing up. I sometimes would find myself rooting for other universes to lose members faster just to get off this crazy carnival ride as fast as possible.
And then there's Kill/Broly.
Don't get me started. And what about Jiren?
What about Jiren?
Which I can only imagine is exactly what the writer said.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, I value your input, I've processed your opinions, and I agree. None of what you guys said is wrong, but I posit this. Though it may be true that there are issues all throughout this saga, isn't it amazing that they all still managed to accomplish so many show-stopping moments throughout? We never even talked about just how much of a boss Android 17 gets to be, the emotional highlight of Master Roshi nearly giving his life, the descent of Top into godhood, or all the crazy variety of fighting styles. Hell, Kaiser, you madman, you even argued for Android 18 versus Ribrianne to be in the top fights list.
Well, duh, that climax is fire.
And Mark, I know the themes of trust that played heavily into the finale were a huge part of that saga for you.
It is definitely the highlight of the story, little as there was.
The Tournament of Power may be the farthest you could get from a perfect saga, but its introduction of Ultra Instinct, themes of trust, spectacular battles, insanely good music, and some of the best climaxes in the franchise absolutely earned it a high spot in my personal top 5.
Well, hey, I'm here to review, not yuck people's yums. So I'm glad it means so much to you, man. And I can totally understand your argument.
And I yours.
Ah, look at you, acting all civil for the people at home.
Nah, if you really want to set him off, start a conversation about Nozawa as Goku.
You mean about how she's a phenomenal actress who earned the role and y'all need to back the fuck